In this video, we'll be looking at authorization rules. So that's how to manage and access your authorization rule settings, and also how to build your own multi-approval workflow. This allows you to specify which type of requests go to who in the system. And by requests, we mean holidays, other events, timesheets, assignments, logbooks, and expense requests. So as a system standard, any request of any type would go to the employee's manager, and we have a default rule to show this. So you've got one for holidays, other events, timesheets. So with timesheets, if you want timesheets to be a request, you can simply go in and click in use. However, you may want timesheets to just be submitted by the employee with no approval. This is the same for assignments. So you can leave that as not in use or in use. Logbook requests. So logbooks of any kind, you can create your own rule to specify which logbooks need to get approved by who. So you may have a logbook, for example, buy and sell holiday requests that you want to be sent to the employee's manager or the head of department, for example, and expense requests. Now, as a default, again, it would go to the manager, but what you can also specify is if an expense is greater than or less than a certain amount, it would go to the manager, and then say if it's over £50, it would go to the head of department. Now let's walk you through how to create your own workflow, and then through learning the different settings, you will know how to edit the existing workflows as well. So in our system, holiday requests that are requested by the support team would go to the employee's manager first, and then to the head of department, John. So I'm going to click in use here so that as soon as I save it, this rule is going to come into play. So any request made by the support team, once I've clicked save, it would follow this rule. Now I want to give it a rule that's quite easy to understand by a quick look what it does. So support team, manager, and John. Okay, now the transaction, so the request is holidays. So I'm wanting to build a authorization workflow for holidays, and submitted by themselves. So what this means is I can create a rule, but what happens if the employee submits a holiday request for themselves? What happens if the manager or additional manager adds this holiday for the employee on their behalf? What happens if the system admin does it on the employee's behalf, or another user with additional access to do so? So in this case, if a member of the support team submits a holiday request for themselves, it would first go to the manager, but instead of additional manager as a second approver, I want this to be John, which is the head of support in this example. So the next options that we have is anyone can approve, which means as soon as the employee has requested the holiday, the manager and John would both get an email, and anyone can approve this in order for this to be submitted. So as soon as one person approves it, it will be approved. All must approve, so the manager and John would both get an email, but they both would have to approve it at some point in order for this to be submitted, or approve in order specified. Now this means the manager would first get the email. If they then approve it, John would then get an email and then approve that as well. Now if the manager declines it, it would stop there, the holiday request has been declined, and it wouldn't get sent to John. And this is the setting that I want in this example. Save. Now let's go into the holiday request to see it here. Now I've created the rule, now I want to specify who this rule is going to be assigned to. So this is for the support department. Now I want to exclude John in this area, because John does actually land in this filter. He is in the support department, but he is the head of the department as well, and I don't want him to be included in this rule. So if he submits his holiday requests, they would actually be approved automatically. Or you could create another rule for John later on as well. So click save. Now I also want to create another rule. So as I've said, the support team request a holiday, it would go to the manager and then it would go to John. And I want to specify what happens if the manager submits this request for the employee. I don't want it to be auto-approved. I want John to be able to approve this too. So I would create another rule. Support team, manager, requests in use. use. So the transaction is still holiday, but the request is submitted by the employee's manager at this point. I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to change this to John. So now I've specified if the employee's manager adds a holiday on the employee's behalf, a request would get sent to John to approve it. Click Save. Now you would find this request by clicking this filter here. You can check conflicts. So this means if there is anyone that is assigned to more than one rule, so you'll be able to remove someone from a certain rule. No rules assigned, so this is a list of employees that aren't currently assigned to an authorization rule. Now if this is the case, their request would be auto-approved. So based on these settings, you can now go in to your default rules and change them if you need. You could also delete it here and then just create your own. And if you get stuck with anything, feel free to drop an email at customerservices@peoplehr.com to walk you through.